Greetings to all. I want to briefly address something that can be labeled as a hustle or name hustle, and it comes from the individual known as Fan Muhammad. Now, the source for what I will quote is an article entitled "The Voodoo Cult Among Negro Migrants in Detroit," and the author is Erdman Doan Bainan. Erdman, Erdmann. Doan is spelled Doane, and Bainan is spelled Beynon. So, if you look up this title, once again, "The Voodoo Cult Among Negro Migrants in Detroit," you will come across a PDF of 14 pages. Now, if you go on page number 8 of the PDF, and you will notice that at the top right corner it says number 901. So it looks like it comes from a larger piece of work. But on this page here, 8 of the PDF, if you have the 14-page PDF, then it's page 8. We are told those who accepted this teaching became new men and women, or as the prophet expressed it, were restored to their original and true selves. As a mark of this restoration, the prophet gave them back their original names, which the Caucasians had taken from them. Since a sum of money, usually $10, was required to secure the original name, this work must have been extremely profitable to the prophet. Each new believer wrote a separate letter asking for his original name, which the prophet was supposed to know through the Spirit of Allah within him. So, I concur. It must have been extremely profitable. Why? Because $10, we're talking about the year 1930 to 1934, because he's said to have disappeared in 1934. And I invite any of you to just go on any search engine and type in value of the dollar over time, and you will be able to confirm. And I invite you to open some new tabs. It'll save you from going back and forth, and check several websites, and I'm confident that you will be able to confirm that the majority of them indicate that in the year 1930, $1 is the equivalent of $16 today. Okay? Which means that $10 in the year 1930 is the equivalent of $160 today, or let's say in the year 2021. That's for one name. $160. Now, the amount will not necessarily be exactly the same, so let's round it up to $150 for one name. That means that if in the 1930s, and that is between 1930 and 1934, if there were 100 members, it means that Fa Muhammad generated the equivalent of $15,000. As per the value of that currency, the US dollar, in the year 2021. If they had 200 members, $30,000 just for names. He used to sell at least fabric or textile, maybe even clothing. I think he was selling clothing actually. So he used to sell some things as well, besides the name. And I think it's a clever hustle. What do you think about that?